Hey there, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving into something that pretty much every single one of us has experienced at some point. You know that undeniable, deep inner nudge? You know exactly the feeling I'm talking about, right? It's that quiet but persistent thought that you're meant to share your unique gifts, maybe help some people out, or just step into something way bigger than what you're doing right now. It is a really beautiful feeling. But, well, it's almost always followed by an immediate crash.
And boom, there it is, the giant wall of self-doubt. You get this incredibly inspiring idea, and then your brain just immediately kicks in. What if I'm not ready? What if I don't know enough yet? Or, the absolute biggest one, what if I just completely fail? Listen, I want to validate those fears right off the bat, because they are so completely normal. In fact, feeling fear, doubt, or uncertainty, that's usually just a sign that you care deeply about what you're trying to do. But here's the catch. Waiting around for those fears to just magically vanish before you finally take action, that is a huge trap.
And this idea completely flips the script on how we usually think about making decisions. Clarity isn't something you find, it's something you create. Think about that for a second. It doesn't live at the bottom of some endless pro and con list, and it doesn't suddenly appear when the perfect moment arrives. The source material we're digging into today argues that clarity actually comes from trusting yourself and taking aligned action. You don't find the clarity and then make a move, you make the move, and the clarity is created right there in the process.
All right, so let's look at Section 1, the decisive mystic, and the golden sunrise approach.
To really understand why this specific framework works so well, we've got to look at where it comes from, the Golden Sunrise Academy. Now, these folks operate deeply in the holistic and spiritual space. We're talking energy work like Reiki and chakra healing, divination practices like astrology and tarot, and using tools like crystal elixirs and switch words. But, and this is absolutely crucial for our explainer today, they aren't just sitting around on meditation cushions waiting for a sign from the universe. They actively blend all this deep spiritual intuition with highly practical, rapid-fire business action. Which brings us to the core rule of their entire framework. 10 seconds. I need you to literally lock this number into your mind right now. The Golden Sunrise Academy framework is made up of 6 steps, and every single step is designed to take absolutely no more than 10 seconds. Why so fast? Because speed totally bypasses your overthinking brain. If you sit on a question for 10 minutes, your anxiety has plenty of time to build a whole court case for why you shouldn't do it. But if you only have 10 seconds, you have to rely entirely on your gut and your inner knowing.
Moving right along to Part 1, the present. Let's talk about defining the decision. This first part is all about tapping straight into your immediate physical intuition and setting crystal clear boundaries around whatever choice you're facing. So, step 1. You have 10 seconds to state your decision in one simple, clear sentence. No rambling. For example, should I start that soul-aligned business I've been dreaming about? Then, immediately ask yourself, is this a now decision or a later decision? Does it actually affect you today? If yes, keep going. But if it's honestly not urgent, you just set an intention to revisit it later and let it go. It's incredibly freeing to realize that half the things stressing us out aren't even now problems. Okay, step 2 is the future you test. Clock starts 10 seconds. Fast forward exactly 1 year into the future, and imagine you've already made this decision. Now ask yourself, does this choice feel aligned with your highest self? Would the future version of you actually look back and thank you for making this choice today? If the answer is yes, you are green-lit to move forward with confidence. If it's a no, well, something's misaligned, and that is your immediate signal to pause and reevaluate. And this brilliantly leads us to step 3, the energetic test. I want you to say the word yes to the decision in your mind right now. For the next 10 seconds, pay attention solely to how your physical body reacts to that word. Does your energy feel light, expansive, and excited? If it does, that's your intuition speaking up loud and clear. It's a yes. But if saying yes makes your chest feel kind of tight or heavy or restricted, almost like you're dragging chains around, listen, your energy knows the truth. That is a solid no, and you need to adjust course.
All right, Part 2, the future. Now we're future-proofing your choice.
This half of the framework is completely dedicated to squashing hesitation and letting go of perfectionism once and for all. So, step 4 is the 1-year rule. Another 10 seconds on the clock. Ask yourself, if I do absolutely nothing today, will I regret it in 1 year? This completely flips the fear of failure on its head. Instead of being terrified about what happens if you try and fail, you're forcing yourself to confront the very real pain of future regret if you just sit on the sidelines. If future you would seriously regret missing out, you take action. If future you really wouldn't care either way, then it's not actually a priority. Release it.
Step 5 introduces what they call the no regrets filter. Imagine you take the leap, and honestly, it just completely flops. It doesn't go as planned at all. Will you still be proud of yourself just for trying? Would you always be haunted by the what-ifs if you never made the move? If you'd still be proud, take the leap. The source material strongly emphasizes here that true growth comes from the action itself, not just the final outcome. Now, if you wouldn't be proud and it just feels forced, trust in divine timing and simply let it go.
And finally, step 6. This is the ultimate push. You have 10 seconds to commit to taking just one aligned action within the next 24 hours. Once you decide on that action, you are officially commanded to drop the overthinking and just move forward in trust. This is exactly how you break analysis paralysis. You don't have to map out the entire staircase today. You just have to commit to stepping onto that very first stair within the next 24 hours.
Let's look at this whole puzzle together really quick, because remember, this is meant to be fast. 1. Define the decision now or later. 2. Future you test. Would you thank yourself in a year? 3. Energy test. Does your body feel light or heavy? 4. 1-year rule. Would you regret not doing it? 5. No regrets. Will you be proud even if it fails? And 6. Commit to one action in 24 hours. Total time? 60 seconds. Literally 1 minute to cut through what could be weeks or even years of endless overthinking.
And just to prove how totally accessible that final step really is, let's look at the exact examples the Golden Sunrise Academy provides for that 24-hour action. Make a single social media post about your new business. Ask a friend if you can practice doing a reading for them. Come up with a business name. Or just pick out a logo. Notice how incredibly low stakes these are. You are not incorporating a business or signing a commercial lease in 24 hours. You're just creating a tiny little spark of momentum out there in the real world.
So the absolute crucial takeaway here is this. Decisive mystics don't wait for a perfect answer. They trust, take action, and course correct along the way. You absolutely do not need more time. You don't need more planning. You already have everything you need right inside of you to take that first step. If you wait around for everything to be 100% perfect before you feel ready, you are literally going to be waiting forever.
Which leaves us with the single most important question of this entire explainer. The world is waiting for the magic that only you can share. You've got the framework now. You know, the whole thing takes less than a minute. So, what is your first 10-second step going to be right now? Start the clock.